Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Netflix Sports Club podcast. I'm Kay Adams. What a show. Cue the Thunderstruck. You know what I'm saying here. It is time to welcome in America's Sweethearts. They'll be here live in studio. Judy Trammell, Kelly Finglass. I want to get into their dynamic, how they settle agreements, disagreements, how this amazing thing called the iconic Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders has evolved over time, what they're most proud of, where it's going, what the drama is like in season 2. So hopefully you're streaming America's Sweethearts right now. I want to hear from you sweethearts out there, you sports club sweethearts who maybe want to give us an idea of who you want to see on the show. We obviously have NFL quarterbacks starting 5 coming up. So let us know. I know you have your weekend barbecues you're looking forward to. We're going to hop around the sports world here on the show as well. So hit up speakpipe.com/Netflix Sports Club. Whether you like football or not, whether you have a dance background, whether you know cheer, there's something in this series for everyone. I've cried. I've been emotional about it. I've laughed at the screen. I've been frustrated. It's all here as we check out America's Sweethearts, Dallas Cowboys Cheerleaders Season 2. And welcome. As they do everything bigger in Texas, we do everything quite big here on the Netflix Sports Club podcast as well. Here they are, the stars of the show, Kelly Finglass and Judy Trammell. I'm here with the iconic America's Sweethearts, a thrill, and you're the first guests.
Yay.
Which makes you pioneers as always.
Wow.
Cheers
to that.
Cheers.
Water.
Congratulations on the second season, which is streaming now. We can get into spoilers. Everyone don't freak out. But if you haven't started watching, definitely start. How proud are you of what this has become as far as just the Netflix part, the global sensation that this has become, Kelly?
Very proud. Literally, we just did a tour last week in Texas in 5 different cities, and the crowd's response when they hear just the beginning of the guitar of Thunderstruck, squeals and screams, it's been incredible. I mean, it was kind of rock star moments, don't you think?
Yeah, and just watching the statistics last year when it came out on where we were in the standings, like in each country, it was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe that it's number 1.
I love the fact that you're watching the statistics and numbers. That is the standard of the Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders. When you watched the first season, what was that like?
It was gratifying. It was emotional. We were excited for the girls to be kind of honored in this way. I think that a lot of people respect more our sport now and how hard they work to get here and how accomplished they all are.
So who's the story of season 2 that we need to know?
I think everyone's going to love Armani's story.
My cause is alopecia awareness. I wanted to show people that you don't have to have hair to be beautiful.
Her strength, her boldness, her not being afraid, taking her wig off on a Monday Night Football game and dancing with no hair. And it was beautiful.
There's scenes where I'm crying. And I told Armani, I said, you know, you made me proud. I told you would inspire people, and you have beautifully. You inspire people all over the world.
Gosh, Kelly, if you're crying, I'm going to cry. Every time there's tears in your eyes, I am waterworks, mascara on my face.
We all cry.
I would say I cry on camera, and then when I'm watching it, I watched it as well. And there's Armani's story, Jada's story. We've got some comeback girls that tried out last year that we released that come back to audition again, and they're pretty compelling stories.
I'm just so happy to be here. Like, truly, there's just not much I can say. But I just feel like you're working for this moment, which I don't think hit me until this morning on my drive here. And I was like bawling my eyes out, but just soaking it in.
And I know that's been televised and there's been cameras everywhere, but the Netflix treatment feels deeper. It feels more behind the scenes. Kelly, I'd love your experience of sort of watching it back. And did it change anything for season 2 and maybe how things were framed or carried yourself watching the first season?
No, not really. I would say the first season I was more guarded because I wasn't used to giving people that much access to all the cheerleaders and our own personal lives. And then I saw what I thought was such great storytelling. And then we could kind of relax and just be ourselves. And if you like it, great. If you find a flaw, even better. It's interesting that I've spent my whole career trying to produce flawless publications and performances. And this show actually somehow makes the flaws and all the personalities, the beauty points.
What's the hardest part of embracing that?
Embracing
the flaws, the potential flaws, the perception of flaws, I guess.
There is none for me except in performance. I mean, we do want our performances.
There's no room for that. There's no room for that.
Yeah, no.
Yeah,
well, yeah. I'm talking about just the personal kind of deep dives on the human character.
This friendship, or how would you describe the dynamic as it's evolved, Judy, over these years, you two?
We call each other work spouses. I mean, we definitely know each other's thoughts and we can finish each other's sentences. It's kind of uncanny, and it's become funny that we're Lucy and Ethel.
As far as did you call each other this morning on this press tour?
No, the girls told us we look like a package of mustard and ketchup.
They always are telling us.
It's a great dynamic. It goes together very well. Very Netflix. Butter yellow's very in this season.
It is the color. But we always end up showing up at rehearsal in the same exact color, and we don't plan it. It's like, no, Kelly.
What happens when there's a disagreement to settle between you two?
Judy clenches her jaws
I do.
when she doesn't agree with me, and I can see it.
Go.
It's not, and I sniff. It's not.
You sniff?
No, she breathes in deep.
Is that accurate?
I guess
You
so.
don't realize you do. You do.
We don't have many differences, but when we do, it's not comfortable. It usually lasts overnight, and I always think about things and ponder, and I don't know if you do or not, but we always try to reconcile and we always want our united front with the cheerleaders.
Does Jerry watch the seasons?
I would think so.
But no feedback from Mr. Jones?
You know, anytime we see him and anytime we do things together, he always talks to the cheerleaders. He's always brags and boasts about the cheerleaders. He
very complimentary.
Yeah. So that happens anytime we see him. I'm assuming he's watched the season 1, and we're about to share TV real estate with his new show on Netflix.
That's correct. We love that. I love that. We'll have to have Jerry on the show, and I'll get his thoughts on all of that. Is there a misconception, Kelly, that you're still working to sort of shed?
You know, it used to be it's all cheerleaders are dingy blonde bimbos, which isn't the case. I mean, I used to really try to boast and brag and publish the girls' college degrees, where they went to school, what their career is in, and now the show is helping tell that story. Like, for example, last year you saw Kelsey, who was a pediatric nurse. This year you're going to see Armani, who works in legal and has her degree in criminal justice. And I've just always been real proud of how multifaceted they really are and how smart they really are and what high achievers they really are.
What is the compliment that you receive after watching this over the seasons on Netflix that you feel is the most rewarding?
Most people have now a new respect for the cheerleaders' athleticism, their dance technique, and frankly, their personal stories, that they've been honest and in some ways vulnerable and told stories that other people can identify with and kind of find inspiration with.
And the stamina it takes to get through Thunderstruck. I don't even think people realize it. There's the Thunder Fakers, we like to call them now, with all the videos that came out. And they will admit, oh my gosh, we didn't realize how hard it was. You're going across 50 yards, then doing a full dance, and then circling around to a kick line. It's hard.
Judy, when you think back to like putting Thunderstruck together, could you have imagined, if you put yourself back into that space all those years ago, what this has turned into?
Never. I think it's just the dynamic of the music and the movement the girls create. I mean, it was a puzzle piece. You can't do everything just center field. You have to make shapes and circles and kick lines, but never thought it would go to this level.
What I love a lot about the series is the look at the audition process. Like, it is just popcorn for me, candy, and like just the precision, the stamina, like we were talking about to start today. Where in that process is your spot as a Dallas Cowboys cheerleader 1?
For me, it's great showmanship, just great showmanship, very
Overall.
dynamic performer, lots of personality. The kicks are more mechanical and they have to be game ready, or we can see if they're coachable. The technique levels have been elevated through the years. But for me, I'm a sucker for great showmanship, great smile, great personality.
And
And
for
it's
you?
kind of, they audition with solos, but then they also do routines in groups. And when they do that on the field, you can still tell who would stand out on a football field, like not just right up close.
Has there ever been a candidate that you've seen and you've like loved them, but it hasn't worked out? And because I
Yeah.
remember watching even just the first season, like, oh, they're a great dancer, but on the turf, it doesn't work. We've seen great performers
Yeah.
not work out on the turf. I guess, is there a key intangible that connects all the people that you know are going to make it?
I hate to use the word wow factor, but we can take the most technically trained dancer who has a lot of control and fluidity, and then you put them in this environment where we need arena power, and the turf literally can trip up the best dancers. They have to have this larger than life showmanship for that space.
There's some technical dancers that are just so much ballet in their background that they can't get the power down. And it's hard to let those go when they're really super talented.
Once you step foot on that field, it's a stage. You can't hide anywhere. So everything needs to look precise and together and like it was planned out perfectly.
I couldn't sleep last night. I didn't go to bed until after 2 a.m. and I did spend time going through each quarter and going through like the formations.
Kelly, how do you so beautifully, if I could ask you, beautifully walk these worlds of being relentless and having to give honest feedback, but still having these cheerleaders, dancers cry leaving you in their cut and having the most respect for you? And you've done it for years so beautifully. Like, what is the key to
Thank you.
that?
Honesty. I know where my heart is, and I know I'm trying to be honest, and I know I'm trying to be constructive to help them either be successful at our audition or be successful at another team, or maybe even redirect them. You know, we've had those conversations too, but it's coming from a place in my heart and honesty.
There's a warmth there too.
It's not a great thing to be able to have to do, but she does it better than anybody. I have to just sit there and be quiet
That's when Judy starts hiding behind her hair.
because she says the right things always.
Oh,
You do, but I can see even on the show, like your heart is breaking and
Yeah.
having some of these conversations, and it shows how much it means to you and how much it means to them, of course, because you've lived through it.
I think that's it. When I'm having those conversations, and we're both doing it together. I know that we have come to the best conclusion we can. I know we've given each individual candidate as much time as we think we can or they need. But then I also know that we have a roster of 36, and that's not going to change. So I'm just trying to be honest with them, because I think it gives them tools to come back stronger the next year with us or pursue something else. Either way, it's coming from my heart.
I don't know what to say to make this conversation easy on any of us at this table. Here's where you're down here. And the consistent word that keeps coming up with your performance in this year's training camp is that you are struggling.
Okay.
I think it'd be a disservice to have you make this team and the struggle be all year. Or if we just did this because you're Dayton and you deserve it, because you do. We want you to be successful here.
I want to too, but not if I'm not ready for it.
Right.
What's the feedback from people? I'm so curious. Do
They
you search
think-
Twitter?
I try to stay away from all that.
We try not to read any of the comments because they tear us up sometimes. Sometimes they don't, but
Yeah,
I think-
jealousy has that effect on
Yeah.
people, I think. Yeah.
I think they think we're hard on the girls, and we really aren't. We have great relationships, and
That's common comment. Y'all are
Mhm.
really tough on those girls.
you have to be.
Yeah, I like that. Just that face. Just like, yeah, I am. I think it's being honest and owning it. And even just the business part of this is you're sitting here and we are on Netflix globally, this fan base, these stars that you're making of these young women who are platformed not only by Dallas, but with the partnership with Netflix to see their dreams come true in all the other facets of their life. Was this the plan for you, Kelly? Like when you took this gig and Charlotte's like, was this the plan or was it just...
Yeah, I had a lot of visions. I had a lot of dreams. I had a whole list of them in my first meeting. And I kind of just looked at different business models, and they're all great dance teachers. So why aren't we teaching camps for kids? And we started camps for kids. They're all beautiful models. And Sports Illustrated was everything and everything. So I wanted to compete with them on the swimsuit calendars. And then we further developed our corporate shows. And now we've developed more concert shows. I think there's a place, not only the football field, but the stage for the Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders. So, yeah, my mind spins constantly.
You're always thinking of the next thing.
Mm-hmm.
What's next now?
I would like a residency show. Now that we
hold on, that is a great idea.
She's trying to take us home
Broadway or Vegas or wherever we could and do a residency. Because if you could have seen our stage show that we just did, it's amazing.
Where was it?
We did it in 5 cities in Texas in the different theaters and venues, and it was
Vegas. Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders?
See, I don't know if we can with our NFL franchise rules, but I want it.
I want it. I believe it'll happen. Kelly just goes, I want it. She's going to have it. Thank you both for joining me. Congrats on everything. Truly inspiring to see. And thank you both.
Thank you.
NBA Finals are wrapping up. I have Danny Kleppinger with me, who you know things about all sports. Tennis, you played hoops, of course, D1, Stony Brook. So the secret of podcasting is that we're recording this before they wrap up. I've been following hoops casually. I mean, 2 small markets, right? Thunder, Pacers. If I wasn't tracking it as closely as I did this season, I would be like, where did this come from? Were you as surprised as me?
Yeah, which is actually kind of fun. I think that's what makes it so fun is it's not the normal cities that you hear of, nor is it big cities. You've got Oklahoma City that was in the middle of a rebuild. We thought it would take a couple years for us to really see that come to fruition. And then you've got the Indiana Pacers under Rick Carlisle, who they have good pieces, but he's actually maximizing the potential out of these players that he's getting out of them. So kudos to the coaching, kudos to the clutch plays that we've been seeing. And not to mention, it's not your usual characters, which I think is bringing in more eyeballs than maybe what you're typical if you just always are used to seeing the Celtics or you're always used to seeing the Warriors. Now this is a little bit more intriguing.
Great series, great season. We have great characters. I want to talk a little anniversary and some of these timelines that we have here. So we're going to do a little This Week in Sports. So it's the perfect time to sort of bring you in, Danny, and figure this out. Thursday, June 19th is the anniversary of LeBron winning in Cleveland. When you think about that, what sort of stands out to you?
Who doesn't love a story, right? The reason we're in sports is because we love these storylines. LeBron James, the hometown kid, wins a title for his hometown team. Like, could you actually script a better ending?
When I think 2016, I truly believe that was like 3 years ago.
And it wasn't. Isn't that so weird? 9 years ago? Don't trust my math. I am a little blonde, but I do believe that's 9 years ago.
Of course, LeBron in starting 5, Court of Gold, of course. What was it about that specific LeBron-led Cavs team that was able to do their thing against Steve Kerr's Warriors?
I just think it's so interesting how his mindset works. He's obviously so tough mentally. Not only are you getting all the pressure from your city, from your entire state, you're also the guy. Not to mention, you're not just the guy on the Cleveland Cavaliers, you're the guy in the league. You're the most famous player on planet Earth, and you're expected to perform night in and night out. I think that any great player, the reason that makes them make us say wow is because they're able to perform under that type of pressure. They want the ball in their hands. They want to take the big shot.
Yeah.
The mindset is unbelievable to me that you're going to approach every single game with that same intensity. And then you also want the ball. Like, to me, in some instances, star players may want to run from it and not want the big moment. He wants the big moment. He still wants the big moment.
He's wanted the big moment since we first heard LeBron James' name.
Exactly. It's amazing. It's so cool to see. And then for him to win it for his hometown team with that squad, he had tried it before. He goes away to what he calls was quote unquote college for him, going to Miami, learning what it was going to be like to be a champion. And he comes back and wins it. And yeah, I mean, stinks for the other side of that, right? The Warriors, having a 3-1 lead in the finals and then losing it, but they were okay. They figured it out.
You're talking about winning for your city and obviously LeBron and the Cavs, that means some things. Steve Kerr, of course, a player in his own right, playing with the greatest Love you, LeBron. Love everything you're doing on Netflix. Michael Jordan is the greatest basketball player of all time. Playing with him, learning through osmosis through years, and of course, being the prolific coach that he's been. But then there's like a whole other thing when it comes to winning for your country. I'm a huge Kevin Durant fan. So watching from Court of Gold, that clip of him talking about what it meant to him. And
Court of Gold was absolutely fantastic. And Kevin Durant, I think, is what drove that storyline through it all, because here's a guy that's so decorated and then brings everybody with him. It's like, hey, the rest of the world's starting to make some noise and they're starting to get really good and they're starting to get cocky. There were a couple quotes in that where Kevin Durant's sitting back and he's like, you want to talk that talk? Well, then you better show up because we're going to show up. And that confidence and that cockiness is actually alluring and it's inspiring. And then you can see the rest of the team kind of jump in behind him. And then you've got Steve Kerr leading the way, who I think is one of the best coaches ever. To me, getting to watch him up close and personal and see his camaraderie with players is what's really cool, because it's not like, if you have a coach, it feels like he's going to tell you what to do. He's going to delegate. Not him. He's okay hearing the opinions of other players and trying to make it more of a collaborative effort. And you see that a lot in Court of Gold. And I think that's what ultimately leads them to success, is because you have obviously the best athletes in the world. And although there are some amazing pieces on other countries' teams, you still have some of the best top to bottom roster that you could possibly make up on USA's team. But then you're led by a leader like Steve Kerr. It's no wonder they walked away with gold.
I mean, there is some talent, though, on the other teams. You mentioned it, right? So you have Wemby, obviously, but then like SGA, obviously was in the finals. What do you make of sort of the talent and the difference between the rest of the U.S. and the rest of the world? Is it evening out? Who's sticking out?
I think it's certainly evening out. In fact, I do believe Adam Silver said this week that he would entertain the idea of potentially changing the All-Star format to a Team World versus Team USA All-Star game scenario. They've tried different things to get people's attention. That would certainly, I think, get a lot of people's attention, just because some of those players across the world are tremendous. You mentioned SGA. What's so fun about him is he's bringing all his hometown kids with him. So he's never forgotten where he's come from. He's a very cerebral player. He's not super flashy or theatrical. Absolutely love him. He's in a Skims ad. Like, it's just
that I didn't see.
It's pretty
But
impressive.
his MVP speech, like, I will watch if next time I'm heartbroken.
Yeah.
I will be like, oh, but there's men like this who cry about their wives and they're so amazing. It was an incredible, iconic speech.
Absolutely. And not to mention, he's bringing his childhood friends to come play defense against him to create game-like opportunities. So he's like on this ride, but he's on this ride with everyone that helped him get there. There's something so cool about that, and such a cool leader. And Canada, they were known for hockey. They're not known for basketball, but he's certainly putting that on the map. It's kind of cool to see.
Let's talk a little bit about the Bulls, because on June 20th, this is so crazy, everybody. June 20th is the anniversary of the first Bulls three-peat. But obviously, with The Last Dance, with all of that, you heard me say MJ's the greatest of all time. Where do you lie in that argument?
I completely agree with you.
You do? Is it our Midwestie?
It is.
Thing?
It's the Midwestern tie. I'm from Oregon.
You spent time in Chicago.
I certainly did. And very recently is that. And my studio is right outside of his Michael Jordan statue. So I get to walk in every single day and got to stare at his greatness.
I feel like we're forgetting the greatness of Michael.
Forget, maybe not, but maybe underappreciate it, because the game has changed so much and there's a little bit different nuances in the game that people start to forget what exactly he did. But, you think back to the flu game when he's ever able to win and overcome things like the flu or last second big shots. I mean, he was the reason that we expect that out of great players now, not to mention the clash of personalities that we got to see in The Last Dance. And for them to overcome all of that and then continue to win like that, to me, that's a part that we don't even give enough credence to. Because yes, fantastic players, but there's so much adversity that goes through an entire season as well. And to continue to win like that, that's pretty impressive.
As the Bulls open the home portion of their 97-98 campaign.
Game time programs tonight, folks. Only $2 on the outside.
If you don't go see Michael Jordan, well, you're missing out on life. That's for sure.
She said, do you want Christmas presents under the tree? Or do you want to see Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen and Dennis Rodman? Yeah. We picked the Bulls.
Because when you're young, I was really young watching that with my dad.
Young.
I didn't quite get it. What am I really watching? And I'd never rewatched it. Of course, you relived it with The Last Dance and it connected some dots and all of this. But I went in and I'm just watching. I forgot that Pippen wasn't in that game. And then the Rodman and Karl Malone smacking each other. But even just the pure aesthetics of the highlights and of course, the meaning and his dad and all of the things.
It was mesmerizing. And it's interesting to hear you say that too, with your background on so many different sports as well. You've seen so many sports
Nothing like it.
Storylines just sparkle in front of your eyes, but to draw you back to that time, it just shows you how special and iconic it was, not just for basketball, but for sport in general, which I think is cool. And you're right. To your point, reliving it through these shows has been really fun. I was absolutely sat during COVID to watch The Last Dance over and over. In fact, I wore a different pair of Jordans every episode, literally for nobody. Nobody was in my home, but it's just the feeling you got rewatching it.
And it was that special moment where we're all together in something and we all gravitated towards something.
And if this was Michael Jordan's final game at Madison Square Garden, he leaves no doubt whatsoever that he exits just as he entered. The best there is.
The 90s Bulls, I could talk about that for 12 hours, but I don't know as much about tennis. But I saw Coco, incredible. Oh my gosh. Her winning the Open was unbelievable. Tell me about watching it. Were you freaking out?
Absolutely freaking out. It's so amazing. And the pride you have as an American to see a player do that. Not to mention, she's just such an amazing advocate. And she's so polished for being so young, just 21 years old. And she's a role model and she does everything with such grace. And then when she wins, it's hard not to cheer for her. She's just absolutely fantastic to watch her do all the rounds of, all the different TV shows and the press tour after winning. She just has so much class for someone so young, and she has so much tennis left to play that it's just so fun that everybody,
21.
I know, I love that everybody is rallying behind her. I got to see her up close in a couple tournaments that she made the
I've
final.
never met her.
Oh, she's
What
wonderful.
is she like?
She's really wonderful. She's got a youthful personality, yet she's wise beyond her years. She loves fashion, so she's always she would love to see what outfit you're wearing. She would always comment on it. And she is just one of those players that understands that she's got a lot of pressure on herself.
So
but
much scrutiny.
She can certainly find a lot of the fun around. She goes to a lot of escape rooms. She loves going to the movies.
Oh.
So she tries to find the lightness among the tough and adversity and long schedule that is tennis.
How will she ride this momentum into Wimbledon?
She's never made it past the fourth round at Wimbledon. So there's a lot of expectations there, but I also think maybe the expectations will be a little less because she just won. So maybe it'll be easier for people to be like, oh, there's a hangover. We don't expect it.
Is that really what
I mean, it's only a 3-week gap between the French Open and Wimbledon. It's so small.
I know that, but my expectation is sky high for her. She's the favorite.
Keep it there.
Okay.
I understand why, but because she hasn't had that much success there in the past on the grass, it's a different surface. She just went to the United States for a while. Now she's going back, trying to get adjusted to European time. I wouldn't put all stakes on her. Actually, there's a couple Americans that are in the top 10 that pique my interest, one of which is Madison Keys, who we saw win the Australian Open earlier this year. It was a fun story for her. She had just gotten married, and then on the heels of, marriage bliss, she wins her first ever Grand Slam. And she was a player that when she was that young, just as young as Coco, had those same types of pressures on her. And she didn't get it until way later on in her career. She's a player that has 74% winning percentage on grass. So this is a good tournament for her.
So I'm enjoying this little Wimbledon preview with Danny Kleppinger. I do want to ask you about the guys' side, the men's side. I cannot scroll on my phone without seeing a clip of some tennis great telling Taylor Fritz, I don't want to see you anymore. I hate you. Don't go away. He's
Zverev.
really having a moment, Taylor Fritz. Should I love him for Wimbledon?
Yes, you're bringing up Sasha Zverev, who said, I don't want to see Taylor Fritz anymore.
I loved it.
Taylor Fritz just won a grass court tournament leading into Wimbledon. So what better way to say, hey, I'm here, I'm back, I'm in contention for this title. He plays really well on the grass. He hasn't made it past the quarterfinal stage at Wimbledon before, but he's been a quarterfinalist twice. He's cemented himself in the top 5 in the world. Absolutely, he's a contender. So someone I would definitely pay attention to, especially if he's gaining momentum now. This is the time to do it. Because like I said, it is really hard for these tennis players to switch surfaces so quickly. And there's only a couple tournaments, just 3 weeks leading into Wimbledon, where you can really start to get used to the surface. And then that's it. It's like 4 weeks, 5 weeks of your entire season that's on grass. And then you just say goodbye to it, done and dusted. So for him to find momentum this quickly is definitely a good sign.
Last one for you on Wimbledon. For those who obviously are enjoying all the sports, and thanks everybody for listening. And please follow Danny on her socials. What makes Wimbledon stand out as the special moment that it is?
I do believe it's just the aura around Wimbledon, the grass courts. It feels very prestigious. It's a smaller tournament in sense of how many people are allowed into each court. So tickets are really hard to come by. Even players, you only get a ticket if you are playing on that day and you only get one. So it's not like you can bring in your whole entourage of people. It's next to impossible to get into. You have royals attending. You have a queue that's standing outside where people camp out for tickets just to get a shot to be able to witness it up close on an outer court, let alone center court. So I think that's what makes it so special. It's just the fact that we don't see it often. It's not a long season, the grass court season, and there's definitely a prestigious
means more to
factor.
The players, though, right?
For sure.
This is it.
This is a huge one for sure.
Yeah.
A lot of people make this as their screensaver and have their whole lives. They just want this one because it's that special.
You're so insightful. I appreciate it so much. And if you guys are missing the NBA because it's now over, please, please, please check out Starting 5 Season 1. Season 2 is coming up with Kevin Durant, which I'm so freaking excited about. And of course, Court of Gold and The Last Dance, all available to stream on Netflix. Danny, thank you.
Thank you.
I have to say, I was blown away by both Kelly and Judy. Their friendship and I would say like the consistency, being able to do it week in, week out, season in, season out, sustain success, and to stay on top like that is hard to do in any walk of life. And I was really inspired by all of that. And they're just like two absolute powerhouses. And it makes me want to be a cheerleader at some point in my life, in another life, maybe, potentially. Okay, we have so much going on. Of course, all over Netflix Sports. Follow our socials, by the way. You can see us on TikTok and YouTube, Netflix Sports. Look out for that. Speaking of like badass women, please let's talk about Amanda Serrano and Katie Taylor. They're going at it again. These are epic, epic fights. Hopefully I'll be there. They fight on July 11th. That's when the match is.
Becoming a champion starts with one thing.
Amanda Serrano.
Heart.
The first sold-out female headline boxing card in history.
Because that's what makes a champion.
And then, in a subject close to my heart, my area of expertise, finally, quarterback season 2, Burrow and Goff. Kirk Cousins, where will he even be playing in 2 weeks, in 2 months? Who even knows? Countdown to the NFL season's there. And there's a great look on the field, off the field, everything in between. So many storylines. There is no drama like sports, and Netflix brings it to you right here on the Netflix Sports Club podcast. And back to DCC for a second here. I want to know who you think should have made the team and didn't. And no spoilers, do whatever you want. Who had the best high kick? That's one that we're looking for right now. And where would you like to see DCC go next? Ooh, other than the Bahamas, where would I want to see them go? I want to see like a European adventure. I want to see like Croatia, Poland, where I'm from. Like, I want to see a little bit of that action. You guys tell me, though. It's up to you, not me, over on our socials and our pipe dream. What is it called? Speak pipe? Pipe speak. Eventually, I'll get that right. So thankful for the time with Judy and Kelly. And some special things in order for Netflix Sports Club, which is a production of Netflix and Pod People. On the Netflix side, our executive producers, Erica Brady, Catherine Hugh, and David Markowitz. And from Pod People, our producers, Buffy Gorilla, Tony Mantilla, and Brian Rivers. This episode edited by Kylie Carter Wogan, our sound designer. And I was just so excited to talk to America's Sweetheart. Go stream it. It's available right now, of course, on Netflix, and we'll see you next time.